Hi there guys, welcome back to the Slightly Unusual YouTube channel. My name's Craig from Slightly Unusual. It's 9 o'clock, it's Monday, so it's time for another marketing tip, for another business tip. Every Monday at 9 o'clock on this channel, I give business tips and marketing tips to help you guys generate more customers, get more leads, take more bookings. Now, these tips are designed for magicians, for performers, for children's entertainers. If you run another business, hey, it might be applicable, but it is designed specifically for performers. Now, before we do anything, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. It's very, very important. Now, today, I'm going to be sharing with you a strategy that I have used to develop and grow two businesses to a really big scale. I'm going to be sharing this strategy with you today. And it is a way of generating more leads, getting more customers, taking more bookings for free. You won't even have to pay a penny for this. And it's by using a social media network called LinkedIn, but in a very specific way that I've been using for a very, very long time. So bear with me, this is going to be awesome. Now, first of all, there's a very good chance you've heard of LinkedIn. Maybe you have a profile. LinkedIn is a social media network for business professionals. It's for business people to interact with business people. And what you need to do for this strategy to work, the first thing that you need to do is you need to make sure that you actually have a LinkedIn account and it looks good. So make sure you've got a good profile picture on there. And then the description is what people look at when they decide they want to connect with you. So in the description of your LinkedIn profile, you want to sell yourself in a very concise way. And you want to tell people exactly what you do. Hi, my name's Craig and I run a company called Slightly Unusual. We supply magicians to events and corporate events and weddings throughout the UK, or something like that. Right, it's very, very important that the description is on point. You also want to try and get recommended by people, and you want to have, if you've got a show reel, have that in there as well. There's a section in your profile where you can upload a show reel. If you have show reels for specific things, maybe put one or two, and you can put a description under each show reel. You want to make sure that your profile looks good. What you want to do is look at other magicians that are on LinkedIn and have a look at what they're doing and use that as the basis for what you're doing, but just change it and come up with your own version, but you can look for inspiration. That's absolutely fine. Now, once you've created your profile, what you now need to do is you need to get yourself as many first degree connections as you can. Now, very quickly, on LinkedIn, you have first, second, and third degree connections. First degree connections are people that you are connected with, like a Facebook friend. It's people that you are connected with, okay? So generally, as a rule, you'll know these people. You'll have some sort of relationship with them. You've either met them in real life and connected with them on LinkedIn, or you've communicated online and you've decided to connect with each other online. The second degree connections are people that you aren't connected with, but they are connected to someone you are connected with. It's like having a mutual friend. Don't worry about third degree connections for now. For this strategy to work, you don't need to worry about third degree connections. Now, what you need to do is you need to get as many first degree connections as you can. I've got over 15,000 first degree connections. And there's a couple of ways of doing that very, very quickly and very, very easily. The first way is to, every time you're at a gig, every time you're at a networking event, every time you are in a place where there's other business owners, what you want to do is you want to connect with them on LinkedIn. You know, like when you say to somebody, hey, would you like my business card? If it's somebody that's at a corporate event and you know they run their own business, or you know that they are in a company, there's a 99% chance that they've got a LinkedIn account. You just say to them, hey, is it okay if I connect with you on LinkedIn? Yeah, what's your name? Just open up your phone, take out your app. Oh, boom, I've sent you a LinkedIn request. You want to connect on LinkedIn with as many people as you possibly can, okay? And ideally, in an ideal world, you want to connect with people that you know quite well for this strategy to work. So I do a lot of networking. So if you go networking with people and you know people through networking, you absolutely want to connect with them, okay? But you've done a lot of work with one particular company. You want to find all of the people in that company that you've worked with, and you want to connect with them as well. You might want to be ringing people up. Hey, let's say you've worked at a venue and you've worked there quite a lot. You might want to ring them up and say, hey, I just want to connect with you on LinkedIn. Is that okay? So that's the first way, meeting people that you know in real life at networking events and so on and so forth, and sending them a LinkedIn request. Very easy to do with the app on your phone. The second thing that you can do is you can search for people on LinkedIn and connect with them directly. LinkedIn has a very powerful search system on there. So you can literally dial this down. So you could search for event planners in the telecommunications industry, and specifically for people with the job title of event manager, or whatever you want to do. And you can geographically base it. So I want these people in Birmingham, or I want these people in London. You then have a list of all of these connections. a list of all of these people, and you'll be able to see if they're first, second, if they're second degree connections or third degree connections, or if you've got no connection with them at all. And you can reach out and you can connect with these people. Now, if you're going to do that and you're going to connect with people you don't really know, two things that you need to bear in mind. First of all, make sure that your LinkedIn account is fairly active. You don't want to have a dead account. You don't want to be connected, because what will happen is when you go and send a connection request to somebody, they'll check you out. They'll stalk you a little bit online. And what you want to do is when they look at you, you want to make sure that you look like the sort of person they'd want to connect with. So that's why you get your description right and you get your profile right. I help event planners make sure that their events are amazing or whatever. But you also want to make sure you're posting every couple of days. It doesn't have to be like thousands of posts, but every day go on LinkedIn, post something, share a link to something that you think that the people who follow you might be interested in. Don't just make it salesy all the time. Like a couple of other people's posts, comment on it if you can, say, hey, that's awesome. You just want to be an active user, right? Because then when you connect with these people, they'll check you out on LinkedIn and look, oh yeah, okay. Now, when you do send a connection request, you want to make sure that you put a little note with it as well. So you've searched for all of these people, and when you search in industries that you actually work in. So if you're primarily a wedding magician, search for people in the wedding industry with the title of wedding planner or whatever, in this area that you're in. Make it specific. And then when you send a connection request to them, you can go, hey, I was checking out your profile. I see that you work in the wedding industry. I work in the wedding industry as well. I think it'd be great to connect. I've sent you a connection request. I look forward to chatting with you virtually online or whatever it is. Don't just send a blanket connection request, because a lot of people won't say yes to that. So, done. So that's how you get your first degree connections. And you want to make sure that you've got a lot of first degree connections, okay, for this strategy to work. Now, this is where we get to the meat and bones of this. This is how to generate work for free with no money down at all. Nothing you have to pay or anything like that. So here's how it works. You need to set up Google Alerts. Now, what is a Google Alert? Google it, Google Alerts. Basically, it's a system that Google's got, and you can put in a search term. And then what will happen is Google will crawl the internet every single day, and they will send you every single day an alert of whatever it is that you've asked them to search about. So, for example, you could go trade shows in Birmingham, awards dinner in Wolverhampton or whatever it may be. And then every single day, if there's an article that's gone up, or if there's something that's gone up that mentions it mentions like an awards dinner in Wolverhampton, for example, it will send you a list of all of the new links that have gone up about that subject with those keywords in it. And you'll get that every single day. So if you set up 10 Google Alerts, you'll have 10 emails coming through to you every single day with lots and lots of links in them. When you get those, I'll be honest with you, some days all of those links are going to be rubbish. Some days 80% of the links are going to be rubbish. What you want to do is very quickly go through them and look for the links that are useful. So an example of a useful link is if it's a link through to a company website and they've literally just had a page go up announcing, hey, 2021 awards dinner is now live. It's now available to book. You can book your tickets with this person. She's the event organizer. Please contact her. This is her name and her email address and so on and so forth. That is an amazing link because they've just announced their awards dinner and you have the name of the person that's organizing it. So they're probably organizing everything, including the entertainment. So now you need to get in contact with that person. If you rung them up and cold call them, there's a very good chance they'd just put the phone down on you, or you wouldn't even get to them in the first place. And this is where having an active LinkedIn account works really, really well. You've got the name of that person. What you're going to do is you're going to go into LinkedIn and you're going to type in the name that you're going to search on LinkedIn for that person. If they are in a business, if they are an event organizer, if they are organizing this event, they will absolutely 100% definitely have an account on LinkedIn. When you find them on LinkedIn, it will show you how many second degree connections that you have with that person. So in other words, it will tell you how many people that you are connected with that also are connected to the person that you want to connect with. Now, let's say that there's 10 of these mutual friends, 10 people that you're connected with that this person that you want to speak to is connected with as well. What you now do is you look through that list and you kind of go, right, okay, right, there's 10 people there. And you pick out the 4 or 5 people that you feel that you have the best relationship with. Somebody, because you're going to be connected on LinkedIn with people that you've randomly met online that you don't really know very well, but then you're going to be connected with people that you know really well. So I do a lot of networking. There's a lot of people I'm connected with that I could literally pick up the phone or send them an email or send them a text message and say, hey, can you help me with something? You want to have as many of those connections as possible. People that you know quite well, okay? You want to pick out the 4 or 5 people that you know quite well. And you're going to send them a message on LinkedIn. You're just going to say, hey, how you doing? Long time no speak. I hope everything's well with you. Just wondered if you could help me. You're connected to this person. I'm not, but she's organizing an event and I'd really like to speak to her because I think, you know, with what I do, I can help her with her event. Do you think you could do a connection request for me? Do you think you could do an introduction for me? And then what'll happen, everybody that you message, they'll say, yeah, of course, no problem. Of course they will, because business people that are on LinkedIn, it's virtual networking. Networking is all about helping each other. So they will then send an email to the person that you want to speak to that's organizing this event, and they'll say, hey, you need to speak to Craig. Craig's an amazing magician. He organizes events. He does this, he does this, he does this. You need to speak to her. Now, what's going to happen is over the next couple of days, this person's going to have 4 or 5 messages from people she's connected with saying, hey, you really need to speak to Craig Petty. So one of 3 things is going to happen right now. Either firstly, this person, this event planner that I want to speak to, they're going to message me. And they're going to say, hey, well, first of all, they'll check me out on my LinkedIn page. So it's really important. That's why you want to make sure it looks good. But then they'll message me and they'll say, hey, I've been told to contact you. I think that we need to speak. And then I've got that dialogue going. Then I can communicate with her. I can go back and forth and hopefully eventually get the booking, get the gig, whatever it may be. Sometimes that'll happen like 60% of the time. Sometimes what will happen is you'll get a friend request. You'll get a connection request on LinkedIn from this person, but they won't actually say anything to you. So in other words, they've checked out your profile and now they've sent you a connection request. So in this case, I know who this person is. I can accept their connection request and I can go, hey, thanks very much for connecting with me. I've checked you out online. It looks like you run events. I actually provide entertainment for events. Perhaps we should talk at some point. And then that dialogue will definitely happen then, absolutely 100% of the time. Now, the one other thing that can happen is you don't get a connection request. You don't get any communication from this person at all. And if that happens, I leave it about a week. And then I just message the people I messaged originally and I say, hey, did you have time to speak to this person about the event? And they'll come back and say, yeah, we did, absolutely. So then I will send a connection request to that event planner and I'll say, hey, just seen you online. I'm in events as well. Perhaps we could chat. And every single time, without fail, if that happens and I get to that point, they'll message me back and they'll accept my friend request and then we can go from there. Now, once we've actually got to the point that you're speaking with them, then you have to sell yourself and you have to make sure that you go from this initial conversation to actually getting a sale. And we can talk about that on other videos that I put up at 9 o'clock on a Monday. But this video is about generating leads for free and starting a dialogue with people who want to book magicians for free with no cost at all. It just takes time. So, step 1, set up your LinkedIn account and make sure it looks awesome. Step 2, start posting on LinkedIn. Step 3, set up some Google alerts. Step 4, make sure that you've got as many LinkedIn friends, LinkedIn first degree connections as possible, so that when those Google alerts come in that you go, yes, I want to work at that gig, you've got people that you can speak to. So there you go. Any questions, let me know in the comments. I'm going to do this every Monday at 9 o'clock. If there is a specific business question that you have, I will try and answer them on Mondays at 9 o'clock. I don't want to turn this into a business channel. It's not. It's a magic channel. This is a channel designed for magicians to watch magic and stuff like that. But I know there's a lot of magicians out there that want more work, and I'm in a position where I've actually done pretty well with generating gigs and generating leads. I have no dog in this fight. I'm not trying to try and upsell you on a course. It's nothing like that. It's about me giving value back to you. So if you have any questions about anything to do with business, please drop a comment down, let me know and I'll try and answer them. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, I put videos up every single day. Performance videos, 6 o'clock every single day, and then we put other stuff up at 9 o'clock as well, including this that goes up at 9 o'clock every Monday. I will catch you again soon. My name's Craig from Slightly Unusual. Have an amazing day.